Okay, we're going to do a walkthrough of the land development model. Land development model is actually a little bit more unique than most. This is not a model that you use just for land development. It can be that, but it does a lot more. It actually it takes all 5 phases of land development that are possible in this model, and it will roll them into, if you are the home builder doing the land development, it'll allow you to model your home building cycle as well as your land development cycles across the 5 phases. And then it'll consolidate those cash flows and economics, and it'll eliminate any profit that should not be reflected if you are vertically integrated like that. And if there is profit that is not vertically integrated and subject to elimination, that profit will show up. And that really is only the case if you're either just the land developer or just the home builder, or you are both, but you're selling lots to other builders that you're not going to build on, right? So it'll show profit from land development. But it does allow you to do 5 phases, and it can capitalize and budget for each of those 5 phases independent of one another. This allows you to either use a land bank or a A&D loan or no loan, all common equity. And then, and so you'll see 5, it's actually 6 different sources and uses, schedules, 6 different budgets, 5 for land development, and then 1 for home building. So we'll kind of go ahead and get started. In this case, I already have all the numbers plugged in for a particular project that is just made up. But we can run through that, and then we can actually change the assumptions in real time. We'll do that, or we'll try to do that for a different project with different numbers, different assumptions, roughly the same size though, in terms of lots, and then take it from there. So real quick, this is the overview tab. The overview tab shows, what the project is, where it is, and how much it is. It'll show the address, the census tract, the current zoning and platting status, so you could plug in the PD or just the plain development code or whatever it is, and you can also write in a status, so this is platted or not platted already, or meets and bounds, or whatever you need to do there. This is an opportunity score that's really just kind of an analyst's, or you can use it or don't, but it's an analyst view on risk and reward in a very simplistic way. This shows each phase of land development, gross and net acres, the number of lots, and the number of front feet, and then the average front feet per lot. This, of course, is your total summary, if you like, and it shows you the full cycle, the IRR. It shows you the multiple on invested capital. It shows you net present value, and then peak equity. It'll show the home builder's gross profit, home builder's gross margin, if there is a home builder involved, and then your average front foot cost per lot. And so here we have critical dates schedule. This critical date schedule is indicative of all 5 phases and home building. So it'll show you the timeline for initial deployment, land closing. Initial deployment is when you spend your first dollar on the project. When you close on the land is the other date we want to know. The start and end date for development costs, and then your first and last takedown, and it does that for every phase. For the home building stage, this is showing you home building construction and sell out. So it shows you when you're closing on houses as well. So basically, you can turn on or off any of these with just the filter on the graph. You don't have to see all 5 phases if you don't have 5 phases, but it gives you that. So okay, and then this is kind of your vital signs. This shows you a table of values. You have your total equity investments, in this case $49 million, $97 million of free cash flow distributions. We have your unlevered and levered IRR. Okay. We have your multiple on invested capital across all stages, all phases. Your gross revenue per front foot, if it's land development. So this is the price at which you're selling per front foot to any given home builder. And in this case, on home building, this is your revenue per unit, so per home, per foot, per square foot. So it converts from front foot to conditioned net sellable square footage. And then this is per lot or per unit, not per front foot, but just per lot or per house. So you have an average sales price of $819,000, and then land development, the lots are going to cost $140,000 a lot. This is project cost again per front foot and per square foot, and then per lot and per home. Okay, and then this is net margin. You have your gross margin at the home builder level. That's traditional gross margin that a home builder would measure. And then you have your net margin on gross sales here, and then your net margin on costs, which sometimes we look at because it's a little more pure relative to costs. So levered free cash flow, and some of these charts are actually shown on the dash tab, but we repeat them in a couple of different places just because they're really important. So this just shows your outflow and then inflow of levered cash flows across time. This is a 10-year project over for 5 phases, so it's quite large of a project. This is your finished lot basis per front foot, so we can see that. Here you can see it going down over time pretty clearly. That's just the upfront infrastructure costs a lot more expensive. And then we can see it becoming more economical. The total land development averages all of that over all front feet. And that's an average for all land development. Returns, this is showing IRR, but you can change this to whatever you want, multiple or whatever. But this shows IRR for the whole project. The whole project, by the way, what does that mean? That means that we're showing, if you're vertically integrated, this shows you or if you're not, this is just everything that you are modeling, all said and done, right? Net, right? So, but if you are vertically integrated and you're doing land development and home building, what this shows you is, this shows you the IRR and net margin on your costs, as opposed to on revenue. So the home builder's IRR is a little higher because the home builder's revenue is starting when they take down lots. First dollar goes out the door, its IRR is calculating starting at that point and as homes close, right? Total project is looking back to the beginning of phase 1 all the way to the end of home building if you're vertically integrated. Okay? So total project is kind of the end all be all of everybody. And your cash flows, this is actually eliminating, again, it's eliminating intercompany profit. So your land developer company, if it's making money, the total project view will eliminate that profit if you're vertically integrated. Okay. All right. And then sources and uses, we'll get into that. Sources of funds and uses of funds for the land dev and home builder. Those are all important. The annual cash flow statement is important as well. And we'll see that this is we'll get into this a little bit later, but this is just a profit and loss statement and a cash flow statement for each phase. So that's kind of the beginning of the model, starting with the overview tab. Next up, we'll get into the other tabs and what they do, and then we'll start to dig into the actual model itself.